Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to day 82 of the tip of the day. Today, I'm going to bring a tip from this book. Let me check what the name of the book is so that I give you the correct title. The name of the book by R.J. Spina is Change Your Mind, Deprogram Your Subconscious Mind, and Rewire the Brain and Balance Your Energy. So the name of the book, again, is Change Your Mind, Deprogram Your Subconscious Mind, Rewire the Brain, and Balance Your Energy. And the reason why I was attracted to his teachings is because it is very much aligned to what I keep talking about, which is limiting beliefs. So I was like, okay, I'm going to buy this book. I'm going to buy the Supercharged, the other book that is Supercharged Self-Healing. And that one is a revolutionary guide to access high frequency states of consciousness. That's all it says on the audiobook. So now let me read. In the book that what I just stated, the one that is Change Your Mind, Deprogram Your Subconscious Mind, he actually talks about what I love about him is he said, I can't exactly remember, like it may be, and I'm listening to the audiobook, so it's not so much as I can remember each and every word of what he's saying, but or the person that has, I think that book is actually read by him. So he was talking about some client of his that actually would be addicted to alcohol or had a bad alcohol problem. And he said, what kind of, R.J. Spina told his client, do you know what kind of energies stick around bars and stick around hospitals? These are energy vampires. So always be cognizant about, and this is my tip, and that was his tip as well, is be cognizant about the energies that you are exposed to. Again, back to the whole conditioning, societal conditioning, the conditioning of our culture, conditioning of our families, that, oh, you do have to go to Thanksgiving dinner. Do you really have to go to Thanksgiving dinner? If you have that uncle or if you have that aunt that is going to drain you of energy, do you really have to go to Thanksgiving dinner? Or can you go one day before, visit whoever you needed to visit that was close to you, and then come back and not actually expose yourself to a whole day of this energy vampires? That's what Carolyn Myss also calls them, is energy vampires. So as part of that book, he had a certain way of questioning. He called it doing an energy diagnostics. I don't have, please go buy the book so that you can actually have the information accurately. But I'll talk about these questions that he had that we discussed actually yesterday. Today is Saturday, the 19th of August, year 2023. Yesterday during group discussion, during group meditation, when we were discussing something, I was telling somebody or advising them that evaluate this, right? So the evaluation is in any interaction, whether it's a relationship, whether you're engaging in an activity, ask this question: how do I feel emotionally leading up to that personal interaction, right? What is my thought process leading up to? How do I feel energetically leading up to? How do I feel physically leading up to? Write it down in a notebook, right? Then during engagement, how do I feel emotionally about that situation or activity, wherever you are going? What is my thought process during? How do I feel energetically while engaged, and use your inner being to actually tell you, how do you feel energy wise, right? Don't use your ego, because your ego is going to say, oh, I'm loving this Thanksgiving dinner, because it gets to go compare itself more with other egos, right? It's enhancing and strengthening itself. And then he says, how do I feel physically while engaged during that process? Then post-engagement, how do I feel emotionally after? What is my thought process after? How do I feel energetically? Again, back to your inner being telling you, how do you feel energetically? How do I feel physically while after? Now, when you do this evaluation, right? Like for me, what happened is naturally being part of Eckhart's teachings, the more I kept going deeper dive into Eckhart's teachings, I started to withdraw myself from anything that drained my energy. So like if I were to go to a hospital visit, right, where you're sitting in the hospital and suddenly you see code blue, and you don't know, like people are passing away, right? So imagine how many entities are around in a hospital. So I will come back home and shower. It's not like I'll just come back home and go to bed or what have you. It's like I will shower when I go to work. Like if I were to work in a working place, after I complete my work and come back home, I always shower. So the more you shower, use that showering energy to cleanse the energy of the entities around you, right? So that's one thing. And then the same thing with relatives. Thankfully, I actually live in the US and all my relatives are in India. So I am not exposed to that dynamic of having to visit relatives. But if I did, if I was living in India and I did feel that somebody was draining my energy, I would just do a high quality no if they ever invited me. I wouldn't do, you know, in India, we have this conditioned pattern that if somebody invites you, you have to go out of obligation of being that relationship or that friend, that kind of like, okay, if it's a cousin and you still feel that they're going to drain your energy and you're still going, right? No, you can always say, no, I'm busy. And then suddenly what will happen is automatically all these energies will like you quantum disentangle from all these energies of relatives and friends that no longer match your vibrational energy, right? You will automatically disengage from them. So the other thing that we used to do as excuse me, being from India, we would every weekend you would gather like a bunch of people from India here in the United States. Whatever city you are in, you make friends with other people from India, and then you invite them over for dinner, right? Like over the weekend. That's what your weekend activity is. Spend time with lots of friends. So now again, I'll go back to, you do it out of an obligation. Are you really enjoying? Are you really getting nurtured? Are you actually having high vibrational conversation with this person? So evaluate each and everything. Right to yesterday, we discussed about television watching, right? Dr. Joe Dispenza actually, I think in Becoming Supernatural or Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, I cannot remember which book, he said, he talked about this commercial that is shingles virus related, right? That he came from an event and then he just turned on the TV just to see what was going on in the news. And there was this commercial playing of the shingles virus. And you see this man like with a huge rash. And Dr. Joe is saying, I've never seen shingles that reddish, rashy, and a huge patch of it, right? So they show this person like kind of doubled over that rash, and then the music, it's louder. And if you'll notice, to draw our attention, advertisements and commercials are always played with louder music. And then the music will draw you into that emotion, right? So Dr. Joe said, look at the programming that they're doing. Does that make sense? So they program our mind that, oh, now I have to go take the shingles shot. I just saw a commercial about, or an ad on Facebook maybe, of Joe Montana talking about some kind of shot that we need to take that shot. No, you can, following the medical medium protocol, you can take enough supplements and change your diet to kind of like heal anything. You don't have to take any shots. You don't have to take any preventative. It's not really necessary. There's enough supplements to actually boost your immune system that you will not fall sick, no matter what your age. So that's the programming, right? Watch out for the programming and use these questions. I found them very, very interesting. That evaluate each and everything that you do throughout the day, so that you're living your life very consciously. Presence implies that you're living your life where each moment is imbued with presence. And if the interaction that you're interacting with is not it's draining you, then you don't need to attend that place. Just a high quality no. Like I stopped going out. Like I could call quite a few friends here, and then I could go hang out at bars. I could hang out at like, you know, what they call happy hour, or keep eating, going out for dinners. I don't do any of that. The reason why I don't do any of that is it's a drain. Like by the time you come back again, you need another shower from what the conversations were, because the conversations with so-called normal, what Dr. Gabor Mate says, the myth of normal, is always like some kind of gossip or some kind of putting another person down, or some kind of comparison, the ego at its best, right? So why do we need to engage in that? So that's my tip for today, is ask yourself these questions. That what is the, how do I emotionally feel before, during, and after whatever the event, the activity is, or the interaction is, personal interaction. And what is my thought process during, before, during, after? How do I feel energetically about it? And then how do I physically feel? And the more drained you feel, that means your spirit, you know, like Carolyn May says, you have $100 of investment of your spirit through the universe gave you that $100, and you're just like debiting. There's no credit. You're debiting out of it, and then now you're going to the minus 50 or minus 100 instead of actually keeping that 100 of your investments. Keep your energy with you. So that's my tip for today. Ask yourself these questions. Withdraw your energy from things that don't enhance your presence power, don't enhance this awareness within you. And the more you take that presence back, you'll realize how incredible the universe around you is. And you'll get into this flow state of, like, one of the things that RJ Spina in one of his conversations said, flow is just getting in connection with abundance. Like abundance is available in that flow state. So get into that flow state. And that's my tip for today. Have a spectacular weekend. It is Saturday, the 19th of August again. So have a spectacular day, spectacular weekend. Many blessings, much love. Eternally grateful to all of you for your support.